Have you started in the DA or
I started in the district attorney's office.
And why did you switch?
And I switched because I went to, it was always my ambition to run for judge. And so when I got out of law school, I went to the Board of Supervisors, and I did some volunteer work, and that's when I was working for the Recorder. I did some volunteer work, and then Gavin Newsom hired me as his legislative assistant, and I did that for about 18 months. But it was my ambition I went to law school because I wanted to be a judge. And so I left politics, and I went to the district attorney's office. My intent was to run for municipal court judge. The requirement at that time was that it was a 5-year requirement. And so I'd been a member of the bar for 2 years, and then my expectation was that I would work in the the district attorney's office for the remainder of the 3 years, and then run for the municipal court. What happened, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks after I became a district attorney, is that the courts merged, and the municipal court disappeared, and the requirement then was extended to 10 years. I didn't want to spend that amount of time in the district attorney's office. And this goes back to something that my father had said to me when we had discussed, when I discussed with him that my interest in pursuing a career in the legal arena. He said that if you want to be a judge, the district attorney's office is a good springboard, but if you really want to learn the law, the public defender's office would be the place to go, because of the volume of their work and their practice. That if you really want to learn the law, that's where you should go. And I was really fortunate that that Kim Burton agreed to hire me, because it's difficult to make the leap from one office to the other, and there's a lot of people that don't appreciate when an individual does that.
You mentioned your ambition to run for the office of judge. Obviously, there's a lot more spots filled by appointment.
Right.
Did you seek an appointment with this governor or the previous governor?
I didn't seek an appointment. That I wasn't eligible for the previous governor, and that's a bit of the reason why I went to the Board of Supervisors first, so that I clearly understand the process because my father went through it, and you're either appointed or elected. My father ran for office and for an open seat against another municipal court judge, and that judge won. So and then he was appointed shortly thereafter largely as a result of his performance during that election. And he was appointed by Jerry Brown at the end of, I think it was either his last appointment or second to his last appointment. So I've always understood the process, and I've understood the benefit of running, even if you don't succeed. And so
did you apply to Governor Schwarzenegger?
No, I haven't applied yet.
And I'm sorry. Earlier, the campaign finance disclosure forms, you didn't turn them in by the expected date. Have they been filed since then? They've been filed since then. Okay. And can you tell us how much money you've raised?
I've raised. I've put in a considerable amount of money, and then I've raised, and I think all told it's 20 something.
Okay.
20 plus.
To play devil's advocate, the fact that you missed the deadline for that doesn't suggest that you'd be that you're very attentive to details. How do you respond to that?
No, I think I'm running. There was actually on the form there was a typo on the date, and so it was because of that typo that I missed it. So.
When did you file them?
I filed them shortly after. I think it was within a few days after.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask a follow-up question. You mentioned you had 25 trials as a public defender. Were those misdemeanors or felonies or a mix?
They were a mix of and they were also in the district attorney's office as well.
The 25 included both offices?
In both offices.
Oh, okay.
And they were a mix. I have tried a sexual assault, homicide, 192, a armed robbery, that's 3 armed robberies. Go back. DV, animal abuse. Those are the felonies. I'm missing some in the felonies, but. And I've represented hundreds of clients in serious felonies, in rape cases, in attempted murder, 3 strikes. So I have the court experience. I've been to for the better part of the last 10 years. I've been to court almost every day.